Welcome to Time Warner Cable's Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. Glad you're with us. Our guest, Paul Krekorian, member of the Los Angeles City Council. Sir, you have been speaking loudly about the Department of Water and Power. And as you know, last March, the voters voted overwhelmingly, 78%, to hire an independent advocate, a public advocate, to speak on behalf of the interests of ratepayers. I understand that we have found our advocate.
We have, subject to council confirmation,
right.
but that process has produced a candidate, Dr. Fred Pickle, who has a broad range of experience in the energy field, and I believe will be effective in being able to finally start beginning to change the culture of the DWP.
Now, we know that this is a new office. Other regions have it. New Jersey has one, Delaware, California, but we're starting from scratch. So is the City Council creating an atmosphere budgetarily, structurally, effectively, to allow him to do the work he needs to do?
Yeah, well, since this measure passed in March, as you say, by overwhelming numbers,
78%.
When the public spoke loudly that they want the culture of the DWP changed, they want transparency, they want credibility in the numbers that are put before us. Since that moment, I've been working in a working group within my office with other council members and other representatives of the city to try to prepare those implementing ordinances that will be necessary to make sure that Dr. Pickle will have the resources that he needs, the structure that he needs to make sure that this office can operate effectively and independently.
Budget.
Well, and budget is a big part of that.
Do we know how much he's going to get?
No, that's going to be something that he is going to have to weigh in now that he's been selected. There's an initial budget that's been assigned, but it's clearly not going to be enough for the long term to be able to do the work.
Now, in December, the DWP came to the City Council and said they wanted to increase water rates by $5 a month. I understand that the council would not agree to approve that until there was a ratepayer advocate. Where do we stand on that rate increase?
Well, there are a number of proposals that are in the hopper. One is on power, one is on water. Both will almost certainly be necessary. But the public rightly wants to know that the degree of the increase and how it's going to be allocated and appropriated is vetted and reviewed by an independent ratepayer advocate as they demanded in March. That's why the City Council has been insistent that none of those increases would go forward until the ratepayer advocate is in place.
I want to go back to last year, the year before, when the DWP, an arm of the City of Los Angeles, a sibling of the LA City Council, one could argue, acted in a way that one could say was not very fraternal. They were required to transfer certain funds to the City Council, to the city. They refused. The controller came out with a report which was pretty scathing. Some suggested bordered on criminal behavior, possible perjurious behavior. How are we right now in terms of the way the DWP presents itself to the City Council, a sister, maybe even a boss?
Well, it's a great question because last summer was an absolute outrage, and the information that was provided to council that was flatly untrue, the holding of the city hostage essentially, was outrageous. I think since that time there's been the beginning of real change at the DWP. We have a new general manager who I think has done a tremendously effective job of reaching out to the public, reaching out to neighborhood councils, being very transparent.
But let me ask you, we know that the statements that DWP made to the City Council, like you said, were flatly untrue. Where are the ramifications? Where's the city attorney? Where's the district attorney? They lied.
We have a new general manager at the DWP, as I say. So there's, I think, a degree of accountability there in the fact that the senior leadership of the DWP has changed. And I believe that with that change is coming a change in the culture of the department, which is helpful to this city.
Paul Krekorian, thanks for joining us. I'm Brad Pomerance. Back to HLN.